Good.
President Satterlee joining me from Pocatello. President, are you working from home these days?
I am. Yep. I am in the home office right now and working from here.
I would imagine campus might kind of look like a ghost town. Is that what you guys are experiencing?
It's pretty quiet. I actually still go to campus every day, at least once. I think it's important, not that anyone's there necessarily to see me, but I'm on campus at least every day at some point, even if it's just to take a walk around the quad, during my lunch, if nothing else. And it's pretty quiet, not what you normally expect from a university campus in April.
How has the transition over the past few weeks gone with taking classes in a completely different direction?
Yeah, it's actually it's been something that I'm pretty proud, maybe not be the right word, but I'm really proud of our faculty and staff and the way they stepped up. I mean, I told them that in some ways our university has been through a lot in its history of over 100 years, but in some ways I think maybe this was one of our finest hours as an institution. Moving our entire instruction to distance-based instruction was a major task. It took the support, the creativity, the hard work of all of our faculty, so many of our staff, to put that together in a short 2-week notice, and then get it ready and delivered in a way that our students still have access to quality education designed to meet our mission of bettering their lives through education. And we had to take items like really hands-on classes like laboratories, and in our College of Technology with a lot of hands-on learning, and make sure we could deliver quality education from that. We also had to do things like make sure our students knew that our counseling center was still open, because they're going through a lot and need access to those counseling services, and we still do that. It's still free for our students, and we're doing it via telemedicine. And then we also, one thing that I deserve no credit for, but this is another of our staff who came up with a great idea. We bought the equipment, which turned out not to be that expensive, to extend our Wi-Fi network out into some of our parking lots on the campus. So students that are having connectivity issues can come to campus. If they don't have internet at home or they have bad connectivity, they can come to campus, don't even have to come into a building, and they can access the Wi-Fi from the parking lots. Then we took that and thought, well, that's working so well. I reached out to our local school district here, School District 25, and I know they're doing online learning, and I made sure all of their students knew that if they have a problem with connectivity and Wi-Fi, they should come to campus to our parking lots, and we let them log into our network. Then we took the final step of saying, well, if we're doing that, why don't we open that up to the community? If there are people who need internet connectivity and can't have it during these trying times, come to campus. And these are the types of things we're doing to be part of our whole community, to help our community move forward. So the level of change we have undergone in the last 3 weeks has been pretty monumental. And yet we've stepped up and we're doing it. And that just makes me really proud of this university.
Any idea, President, how many students are still there in Pocatello, like in their campus housing units?
Sure. So in our traditional residence halls, which most people would call dormitories, but our traditional residence halls, we actually have 28 as of today. That's all.
Out of, do you know how many normally would be there?
Hundreds, several hundreds, right? And so most of them got into their more permanent home, which is fine. So the 28 that are remaining, we've actually spaced them out so there's good social distancing. And then in our traditional apartments, which are, traditionally it's the non-traditional students or students with families, it's an individual living unit, not a residence hall. We still have several hundred, over 300 in those, but those are individual living units. Mm-hmm. And we've taken a couple of our residence halls that no one's in. We have one that is ready if we have healthcare providers that might need a place to stay, so that they're serving their job in the day but don't want to go home to their family and expose them. We are setting up one of our residence halls that could actually be a quarantine area if our community needs it. So our on-campus population has dwindled dramatically, and yet our student population has not. We have, during this time of the year, we would normally see, last year, 102 students dropped their classes and left school for some reason. And this year we've had 100. So we actually have less students who have dropped in this time period than would have last year. So our students are hanging in there. I'm proud of them. They're doing a good job.
Now, how does your summer semester look versus previous years? And do you think this is going to have a ripple effect into the fall?
So for summer, we think that it will have some effect. We've made the decision that our early part of the summer courses will be online, but we haven't yet decided if our entire summer will be. In fact, we're hoping by end of the summer, we'll be back to face-to-face instruction. As of right now, we are planning to be open in normal operations for the fall. Now, we all know that could change. This is an ever-changing situation. But right now, we are saying this fall, we will be business as usual. We're ready for the students to return. And we're doing a lot of outreach to our students right now, and our prospective students digitally and online through the phone to say, we are ready, continue your plans to come here for the fall. So
Talk a little bit about the faculty and the staff. You mentioned earlier that they've made this big transition over 2 weeks. Is this something that you think might change forever, as far as obviously not 100% online, but maybe there are tweaks to how education is done because everybody was forced to do this now?
mm-hmm. I think there will. I think we're going to see a public health crisis that is actually going to bring about long-term change in higher education. I don't know if we know exactly what that's going to look like now, but I think it will. Think back, Nate, if this exact same thing had happened 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we probably would have shut down because all the universities across the country didn't even have this level of connectivity to be able to do what we can online. But it has happened now when we have that. One of the things that I've thought about, I've talked to our provost and our registrar's office about is, for example, maybe this is a lesson on what we could do more of in the summer. That summers we could tell students, yes, you can go home or somewhere else to get the job that you need for the summer, and you can take more online classes because we've pushed more programming to online, make sure students could, in their summers, stay up with school and have the job in the place that they want. And then come fall, what we know about online learning right now is most people think of it as a student is either a regular traditional student or online. The reality is most of our students take a mix. They take some live classes and some online to meet their schedule. And I see that mix now having a more robust interaction back and forth. And so I do think it will make those kind of changes long term.
Financially, how is this going to affect the university?
So right now we've quantified our direct expenses. These are refunds we've had to give, events that we normally hold on campus that draw in lots of people that generate revenue. We've had to cancel everything from concerts to other events. Right now we're looking at a financial impact of direct of about $3 million. And then overall, the state has already told us that based on state revenues, there will be some budget holdbacks in our state budget, which will further reduce our available revenues. So it will have an impact. But here's one of the things, Nate. I know you know about our our statewide brand image campaign we were doing.
Yep.
It was bearing fruit. All of the indicators, our applications were up, our admissions were up, our scholarship applications were up, our housing applications were up. We were up in all of our indicators this spring going into this fall. I think we were going to see that statewide brand image campaign have the enrollment effect we thought it would. But now this event has happened. I don't know if I could be the one who predicts what it's going to mean for the fall right now. So we'll see.
Interesting. Is there anything you want to add, President, that maybe you want people to know about what's happening at ISU? Do you think there'll be any long-term effects or anything that we didn't talk about?
Well, I think the main one is hoping everybody realizes we're open for business. We are still serving our community as best we can in this situation. We are serving our students. Our students are still getting financial aid. They're still getting scholarships. They're going to class. They're going to graduate if they were moving towards graduation. They're going to progress in their degree. So we're still performing our core mission of educating our students. And that's, I think, the main thing. If something deserves accolades, it's the way our faculty and staff have bonded together around that mission that we still are going to deliver education. And that's the main message.
Yeah. All righty, sir. Thank you very much. I'm sure you have another Zoom meeting to jump on to. So
Yeah, thanks, Nate.